What is dollar cost averaging? How does it work? And is it actually a good strategy to use? Let's take a look at those questions. Derek Mazzarella with Gateway Financial Partners. We're going to talk today about dollar cost averaging. So the basic concept is, let's say you're going into a swimming pool. Are you going to dive right in, do a cannonball, or are you going to ease into the water a little bit over time? Basically, the concept is, I have a lump sum of money? Let's say I got a bonus or I have my tax return and I want to invest it in the market. Does it make sense to invest it all at once, or should I invest a little bit each time? So let's say I had, $10,000 here. Should I invest, 1K per month, or do I just throw all $10,000 in all at once? So let's take a look at the strategy. The real concept behind this is a chart of the S&P 500 going back 30 years. As you see, there's definitely some peaks and some valleys with the market. And what dollar cost averaging will do is, as you're throwing consistent money in the market, we're saying, okay, when the market's expensive, we're actually buying less shares of the S&P 500, for example. When the market drops, now we're buying, more shares when the market's essentially cheap, right? So eventually what you're going to get is kind of more of an average return overall, because you're not overpaying when the market's expensive and you're not buying enough when the market's too cheap, right? Or you're not saying, okay, man, what if I just bought right here and then all of a sudden next few weeks, next couple of years, the market drops, what happens then? So that eliminates that risk. But overall, one thing to consider is the market typically runs positive. In fact, Northwestern did a study looking at rolling 10-year periods going all the way back to 1950, and they found that if you invested 100% in equities, about 76% of the time, it made more sense to do lump sum investing over dollar cost averaging. Typically the stock market does well over time. Vanguard did a study in 2012, said about 66% of the time, it made more sense to do lump sum investing. So the two things to consider really are, one, what's your risk tolerance? If being at this point right here is too risky for you, then it doesn't make sense to do lump sum investing. I encourage you to do dollar cost averaging. Also, if you have a shorter time frame, that's when dollar cost averaging can really make sense, because in a shorter time frame, the market may be really volatile, but as you see over a longer time frame, generally the market wins out over time. So Derek Mazzarella with Gateway Financial Partners. Let me know what questions you may have.